Hey, it's MK, and I am back with another Kit Conspiracy layout for you guys today using my Pretty Little Studios Comfort and Joy kit. This is the last layout, I promise, and it's not anything to do with fishing. So as I was playing with this kit, I found embellishments that had mugs in it, coffee swirls, all that stuff. And then I came across these photos of the chocolate bombs that my kids got last year for Christmas in their stocking. Now, they're not exciting photos, and the bombs did not explode like they were supposed to. I don't know if we were supposed to use warm milk, but my kids were like, well, that was underwhelming, but the flavor was amazing. Like they loved their hot chocolate bombs, right? They were hot chocolate bombs. Oh my goodness. So anyways, they did not explode like the kids were expecting, and they had to sit there and swirl it and twirl it and do all the things. It was just very sad and underwhelming. So I'm going to just share with you guys all the things that I picked out. Now, this is the layout that I felt like has a chic look to it. I brought in a lot of pinks and a lot of mints for it. I brought in a couple of iridescent diamonds, I guess, just because they were sitting on my desk and I felt like they kind of went with the layout. I have a couple banner pieces, but by the time that I put the layout together, there was no room for a banner. I probably could have snuck it in somewhere, but I was pretty happy with the way that it looks before the banner. I don't do the banner. I also brought in a couple of the cut apart word banner pieces or flagged pieces. I wasn't really sure which ones I was going to use. I know I'm not going to use all of them. And then I found this word home also in the kit. Again, not sure if that's going to make it on the layout either. For my papers, I pulled out this gorgeous collage paper. It's amazing. I'm going to end up using that. And then I brought back my candy striped paper as well as this awesome buffalo plaid. But I'm going to map my photos on the candy striped paper just to tone it down a little bit. It's out there. It's one of the starkest papers that we have. So yeah, I'm going to tone it down just a hair. And then again, bringing in this buffalo plaid that I love this paper, you guys. I really do. So I'm going to bring that in. I've got my two white cardstock pieces. And then I'm going to do a little bit of mixed media in the background. Not a whole lot. It's not, a messy mixed media, but I pulled out my burlap stencil once again, as well as my frayed burlap ink. And then the sprays that I brought out, I got this Heidi Swapp in, I think it's called Patina. I don't remember. I think it is called Patina. I've got this Lumberjack plaid in Distress Spray stain instead of oxide. And then my dilution sprays, I've got both. The Desert Sand, one is ink spray and the other one is shimmer. I end up just using the shimmer spray. I don't go back to just the ink. So I'm going to go ahead and cut my photos. I don't make you guys watch me do all of it, but I'm going to cut my photos down and cut my photo mats down. One of the things I have to keep in mind is that my red stripe is not a 12 by 12, so I have to strategically place my photos where they're supposed to go, right? Like I can't just do all three photos and cut down a 6x6 and whatnot. So I had to figure out a way to make all of this work. Plus I wanted a 12-inch strip. I wasn't sure how I was going to add it to the layout yet, but I wanted that opportunity if I do add it. I don't end up adding it, but I wanted it. So here's where I could not remember is my photo 6x6? And I didn't, like I said, I don't want to waste any paper. So my photos are only 5 3/8 or something like that. They're a weird length. They're 4 inches wide, but not quite 5 inches. So I had to keep that in mind. And when I go to cut my larger piece, I had to keep that in mind too. But my two photos that are 3x4 still needed the 6-inch piece. So I do end up cutting it at 6 inches like like I was originally going to, but I made it harder than it looked, basically. Sometimes I am an overthinker. Just saying. So here's where I realize I need to make this about 5 5/8, I think is the proper term. So I'm going to go ahead and trim that down. That way I have another good striped piece. Oh my gosh, those little striped pieces make a huge impact on a layout. I'm serious. They are fabulous to add to a layout, just as they are, the little pieces. And that's all you need that's why I love a good stripe, you guys. I'm a sucker for stripes because you could use so little and they add such a great impact of color on a layout. I just love it. All right, so I left this in here so you guys could see how I came to the decision. I have 2 photos that looked very, very similar to each other, and I wasn't sure, do I want the photo with my son's hand in it, or do I want the larger photo? Well, I already have a photo with a hand in it, so maybe I don't need 2 photos. So I eliminated a photo, but I don't waste my stripe. I'm just saying. The stripe does not get wasted. It does end up, I take the photo off and the stripe ends up just in the scrap pile with my leftover kit. So I'm working on trying to figure out how I want the photos to flow across the page. So I have the kids opening their bombs and my one son put his in and he's like, "That's it?" So he has that expression. My daughter's still opening hers, and my middle son over on the right, he's just basically like, "Where's the bomb?" So I feel like, and Kyrie's just like, "Mine'll do it." Hers doesn't do it either. And that's why you see a whole bunch of basically just white milk jugs. Because there was no bomb. I'm pretty sure we did it wrong because we are hot chocolate bomb amateurs, as my daughter calls us. But it was still a fun experience. It still made us all laugh and giggle because they're just, especially Isaac. He is my youngest son. He's the one that has his hands up like, "What?" Because his reaction is just so pure and joyful. I can't tell you guys. I can't even replicate it because it's just so much fun. It really is. And then of course the kids make it into a competition. Well, mine'll look better than yours, or mine'll do it, type of thing. And then, oh, well, I meant to do that. When it doesn't work. It's just so fun, you guys. And I'm sorry. I know it was last year, but I still giggle at the memory. So anyways, I took my burlap stencil, went around all of my trace marks again, because I don't want to overdo it. I don't want to put too much out there. I don't want to underdo it. I don't want it so under the photo that it was pointless me putting it there. And I never know what it's going to look like until I actually put my photos back. And so I always do the outlining of the photos so that way I can get a good look at where everything needs to be and don't over mix media it. So I've got my stencil down and now I'm just taking my sprays. I started with the Delusions shimmer spray and splattered it. Then I did the Patina spray by Heidi Swapp, and now I'm doing the red spray, which I think was the Lumberjack plaid little spray, and just adding a bunch to fill in that white space. And I love how my background turned out, you guys. And again, it just makes me feel like it's that much more of that chic feel. I don't know. Maybe I'm not a decorator, you guys. I've never gotten into, trends like that. And so I don't really know what chic is, but I feel like this is a chic layout. I really do, especially when I start adding the roses that have absolutely nothing to do with hot chocolate. But they're a filler. They give me a good filler to add to this page where all I had was 3 coffee cups and a little banner piece that said hot chocolate. Okay, so I did measure how wide all of my pieces needed to be. And then I'm using the grid on my glass mat for that measurement. So I just lined up my paper at the 3-inch mark, and I put my ripping ruler down, and then, or my tearing ruler, I should say, and then I just started tearing. So it was perfect. I put my tearing ruler at 3 inches, if that makes sense. And then I got the perfect amount of what I needed. I'm going to go ahead and use my edge distressor to distress my edges. And then my plaid is just going to poke out. It was very stark and very crisp. I did not want a whole lot of it, but I wanted it. Like, it's something that I wanted on my layout, even if nobody notices it but me. Yes, I know, I'm weird. So that is how it's going to be. And then I definitely wanted to bring in these roses. I wasn't sure exactly how. I do like how that looks. Why did I not leave it there? I don't know. It doesn't go there. It lives on the right side, and I'm going to end up tucking it to where it covers a little bit of that photo, but you can still read that it says Hot Chocolate Bomb. So that is where it's going to live. And then I'm going to divide and conquer, but because I didn't set it up like I normally do, normally I lay it all out the way it's going to look, and then I go off camera and glue it all down. This time I did not do that. I just started, okay, I want this color here, I want that color there. Yeah, that looks good right there too, because I have another ticket over there. Well, let's put this up here. You know what I mean? I'm just tossing the things around. I'm not, and then if I don't like it, or if I don't want to use it, it goes back in my tray. But yeah, I'm just tossing stuff around and getting it to, make sure that I have pink roses here, pink roses in each cluster, a coffee cup in each cluster, just all the things, and making sure that they are all there. Oh, I don't need that tab because, I do need that tab. It looks way better over here. Just left and right. And now that they're just scattered and I divided and conquered, but I don't have it set up, I'm going to make you guys watch me glue it all together. I know, boring. So I did scuff up the edges of my buffalo plaid, and I'm going to go ahead and just attach it to my gorgeous green piece. I really feel like the green piece adds a whole lot to it. So I'm going to go ahead and glue it to my page, and because the green piece was longer than my white cardstock, I didn't want to cut down my hedgehog at the bottom. So I went ahead and put my green piece up at the top so I could cut off the top pieces. No big deal. Not even going to notice that they're gone. And then start building the right page. Now, the reason why I'm not building both pages, the left page, the reason why I'm not doing both of them at the same time is because in my camera view, I have to take my pieces way off to either the left or the right to put adhesive on them, and then it's a lot of blank space where you guys don't get to see the action, if that makes sense. So I've got current trends up there because this seemed to be a current trend. Now, living where we live and not watching a whole lot of TV, we actually don't watch TV. We watch movies. So we don't get to see the commercials. We don't get to see what the in thing is unless it's a commercial on TikTok or whatever my kids watch at school or watch at their friends' houses, things like that. I personally know that I am way behind the times when it comes to what's in and what's not. So this is our first bomb. I should say. This is our first chocolate bomb. And we had no clue what to do, how to do it. The directions are very minimal. like you're just supposed to know, right? Apparently we failed big time. So I definitely wanted current trends on there. And then, of course, it says Christmas at home, and then together something. I can't remember what the other one says. But they were all perfect because this is what we like to do during our Christmas break. We don't travel a whole lot because of the weather, and we enjoy being at home. And so when we do, we come up with things to do. We make gingerbread ninjas and decorate them. Or I think this particular year we actually ended up having melted snowmen, which was hilarious. That'll be coming up here soon too. And of course, as the kids get older, the activities, I can't say lessen, but they're age appropriate activities. And it's just a blast. I'm not going to lie. It is fun to do this. They get advent calendars that are age appropriate. That is not just candy. I love, that is one of my favorite things to do, is researching advent calendars. I love finding things like the bombs to put in their stockings. And it's something that we can try and say that we at least did it once. Type of thing. We're going to get another bomb this year and try it again. I promise. It's going to happen. We're going to make it work. If not, then I'm going to record Isaac's reaction because I just cannot mimic it. It is hilarious. So anyways, yes, we definitely, love to take our 2 weeks and challenge ourselves at how we can have fun, but but not costing a lot of money. What can we do at home that's fun? We get a Christmas movie every year, and that's Christmas related. Not a sappy one, but I try to keep it. Within age range and appropriateness and whatnot. This ticket here, I completely forgot to scuff up the edges like I did the other ticket. So here I am gluing it down and gluing it down some more. And then I realized, oh, no, grab it before the glue dries. And it's all saved. Oh my goodness. If only you guys could hear the words that are actually being said during the making of these videos. Okay, so the last thing I'm going to do is pop up the wreath so that way it gives it a little bit of dimension and makes it look like it is wrapping around all those tickets and things. And the last thing I am going to do, well, 2 last things, is add those little gems. They're not even gems. They're like really super flat iridescent sequins. I had them. They were not even noticeable on the layout, but they're gone. They're all used up. Yay. And I do feel like they match the layout. I'm also going to add this little label. I didn't like that open flower in the cluster of the wreath because there wasn't any other ones of those flowers anywhere. So I decided to go ahead and make a label that just said that the kids got hot chocolate bombs in their stockings. I'm going to distress the edges. I had to wave it in the air to make sure my ink dried before sticking my fingers all over it and scuffing up the edges and things. And then I just glued it straight over that flower that I did not like. And that is my layout, you guys. Oh, it says all together. Yep. Christmas at home, all together. And it is fun. Well, it's all together now. Pretty soon we're going to be empty nesters. It's so sad. It's a couple years, but still very sad. And that is all that I have for you guys today. I had a blast making this layout. It was fun. It was energetic. I really did enjoy it. And I think most of that is the memory. It's the reactions. That's it. That makes it fun. And brings the layout to life. I really do. All right, you guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I really, truly appreciate it. Please be sure to check out Janet Fritz's channel to see how she is using her Comfort and Joy kit by Pretty Little Studios for Kit Conspiracy. And I will check you guys all later. Thanks. Bye.